Yo, welcome to Unfair Sports, where we take a pensive approach to the sports conversation. I am your host, Jay. Thank you so much for checking us out wherever you get your content. While you are there consuming this content, make sure you like, subscribe, rate, and review, and give us 5 stars. If you don't think we deserve it, meh, go ahead and give us 5 anyway, and gift it. On this special episode of Unfair Sports, we'll be talking to my guy Ross from the Fourth and Long Radio. We're going to talk NFL quarterbacks in preseason 1, give a few overreactions, which one's going to have the better career predictions today, taunting and the NFL turning itself back into the no fun league, and then we're going to wrap things up with Tebow mania. Make sure you hit us up on the Unfair Fan Line, 430-901-1906, and leave us a message and let us know what you think of the show. We'll take your strongest opinions and we will provide you with a response. I promise you. So hit us up, 430-901-1906, as well as hit us up on our YouTube page. You can go to unfair-sports.com and you can go ahead and, like I said, like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment and let us know if you check this out. And now, this episode. All right. So thanks, of course, joining us here. I have a special guest, a cat that I've been following on the Bird app for a while and turning out some fantastic content. We got my man Ross over with Fourth and Long. Ross, what's going on, man?
Oh, just something slight. I really do appreciate the kind words. I've been looking forward to this date for a little bit now because we both got some good stuff going on, some solid conversations. I think it's about damn time that we come together, to be honest.
Good point. Yeah, we kind of go back and forth a lot, and for the listeners and viewers, you can follow him on Twitter, Fourth and Long,
at Fourth Long Radio, or at Fourth Long Radio. Shop, go to thefourthandlong.com. All right.
There you go. Yeah. Good plug. It's he always turns out some nice graphics that give you those questions, and I love looking at them and it makes me think. So that's something I really appreciate content wise. So let's dive right into the meat and potatoes of why we want to get together. I want to talk about this preseason. So I know everybody has noticed week 1 of the NFL preseason has started. We are at the point where we have nothing else to talk about. And so now we're talking preseason football. Right, exactly. So because of that, we've got to do the thing that we always do, which is we have to overreact over what has happened with the quarterbacks that were drafted in this past draft. Now, keep in mind, this draft had, 5 quarterbacks that could potentially start here in the first round. This is the first draft since 1999 that had the first 3 picks be quarterbacks. Call that the Achilles Smith draft.
Listen to those stats.
So, because of that, this is the draft we have to overreact on, mainly because we know that these players will most likely either start the season as starters or within halfway of the season they're going to end up being starters. So, Ross, you got to tell me, what did you think about preseason week 1 as far as overreactions go so far? What are you thinking in your mind?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you brought the overreaction to the preseason because it feels nice because at least known on my show, I'm kind of the guy with the hot takes. Sometimes a little bit too hot, sometimes middly, which is okay. I do like to tiptoe the line of being an actual analyst and maybe going a little bit more Skip Bayless on this point. But that's why I love the preseason, because I get to put on my full Skip Bayless hat, and I have no regrets about doing so. So, should we just start off with a bang?
Let's go. Let's go with the number 1 pick, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. Hey, I got something before we go into each individual quarterback, all right?
Okay,
I just got to drop a little bit of a bomb. And I'm saying that all 5 of the quarterbacks that were taken in this first round of the 2021 NFL Draft will be starting week 1 of the NFL regular season. That's Justin Fields, that's Mac Jones, that's Trey Lance, and of course Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. All going to happen.
Let me get a fire extinguisher and put you out on this hot take. Cause there's no chance all of them start. But hey, like you said, it's preseason. This is the opportunity for us to put out the most scorching takes that we possibly can. So, let's go individually then. Let's talk Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
I know you saw some of his action. He did fairly okay.
Okay is a great way to put it.
I can't say good, can't say bad.
Mm-hmm.
He did take, 2 back-to-back sacks to start. Looked like it was a little shaky, but overall, he's the starting quarterback for the Jaguars. So, to me, my take has always been on the preseason is that there's absolutely no point in me putting out a actual hot take because it's just ridiculous. It's the preseason. No one cares. 1, 2.
Yeah, that's why you're supposed to put out the hot take because even if you're wrong, no one cares. If you're right, you're 100% right. You can't lose.
That is true. You can be ahead of the curve. That is a good point. But at the same time, we know certain players are guaranteed to start. So, like, for example, Trevor Lawrence, he is going to start, irregardless of how bad of an egg
they got
lays.
Gardner Minshew going on right now, man. They got that competition going on.
Minshew cut the stash off. He ain't got the horseshoe no more. He ain't getting he's done. We're done with Gardner. As much as I enjoyed the Gardner Minshew experiment, it reminded me of how difficult it is to play any position in professional sports, especially football. He immediately just went from a darling to he might not be third string. It's like, how does that happen so quickly? But that's just how difficult it is playing in the league. So, Trevor, what was your feelings on his first performance?
Well, his first performance, at least talking completions and attempts, it was pretty nice. 6 for 9. So you got to put a little bit of respect on that one. But overall, is it too much to say? I was kind of disappointed by what I saw from him because we saw like a good football player, but we didn't see the guy that was one of arguably the most high prospect in a decade or so.
Yeah.
And like I saw a good quarterback out there. I saw a guy with, of course, tons of potential, but CJ Beathard did better than him, at least statistically, in this game. He completed more passes, he threw for more yards, and he actually threw for a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence took a couple sacks. He throws for 71 yards on 6 attempts, which so over 10 yards of completion, which isn't bad by any stretch of the means. But maybe I don't know. I hope that my expectations aren't too high, but that's one of my worries, quite frankly, right now. I'm sure he's going to develop into a really good quarterback, into one of the best in the league. He has some catching up to do in terms of the young guys, maybe with some sophomores like Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. So we'll see. We'll really have to wait and see on the whole Trevor Lawrence situation going on right now, especially with Urban Meyer running that offense.
And that was going to be my point. The Urban Meyer experience is the one thing I feel bad for Trevor Lawrence on, especially because Urban Meyer also has a say in some like the personnel moves. And when you have a coach coming from college having that much, I guess you could say, power, and without the prior experience, feels like you're going to end up with like a Chip Kelly situation, and thinking that you're going to be able to really do something, especially as you start shifting players in and out. That's where I'm running into my problem with that. And this is where I kind of feel bad for Trevor. I feel like he could end up in a David Carr situation because his head coach might get him killed. Now, if Urban Meyer can prove me wrong, I'm totally for it. Because David Carr is a really good quarterback coming into the NFL. He just couldn't get off his back. It's kind of hard to actually be a successful quarterback in the NFL if you're getting sacked the most every single year in, year out, and you're staying hurt. So,
or not even that. Just in one game, we saw that was super evident in the most recent Super Bowl we had. The greatest quarterback in the game couldn't do jack because he ran for 500 yards or something like that in that game.
Yeah, east to west, without going north to south. Yeah. Exactly. And that's something you have to be concerned for with a young quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. Now, I know he has enough confidence.
Or like Joe Burrow.
And Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow basically, he got injured, but at the same time, he was getting killed most of the season because young quarterbacks,
why was he injured?
That line.
Why did he get injured? Because offense line couldn't block for him.
Couldn't block. So, I don't know what the Jags line situation looks like. We'll find out. But I'm hoping Trevor gets better. So, okay, next up, Zach Wilson. Now, Zach didn't really play much. They kind of gave him a similar Trevor Lawrence situation. He was, 6 for 9 as well in his game. Nice. I don't feel like – I put it like this. A lot of people have given the Zach Wilson hot takes of not thinking he's going to be very good. I don't know much from him coming from BYU as far as him playing, but he also has gone to the Jets. And that's where my biggest concern goes in. It feels like that organization is cursed overall. Not sure why, not sure what voodoo they've done, who or what spirits they've pissed off, but it just seems like people go there and they fall apart. Like, I thought Sam Darnold was going to be something, at least good enough to stay alive, and he just imploded every year. It's got worse and worse. So we'll see if he gets better in Carolina. But Zach Wilson, I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know him.
It's weird. But the whole thing about New York being cursed, the Jets being cursed, there's a clear and obvious reason for this. They're not necessarily a curse. They just ran out of all their luck because they used it all by going to back-to-back AFC Championship games with Mark frickin' Sanchez as your quarterback. Okay, Butt Bumble led you to back-to-back AFC Championship games. Obviously, something ain't right. Okay, so you use up your franchise luck for the next decades by doing that. Okay, so that's how it played out. But Zach Wilson, I actually do. I'm not buying into all the whole bust kind of talk. I was actually lucky enough to be able to watch him first in person. Here's my subtle flex. Let's go Boise State Broncos. Okay, class of 2021 here, the home of the Smurf turf. Right. I was one of the 1,000 people to be let into the stadium when they actually let fans back. So I got hella lucky there. It was kind of a weird situation because I was working for the school paper at that point. I was doing like this little kind of sports preview video for our Instagram, and I couldn't say that the Broncos or that the Boise State was going to get blown out. But off camera, I was like, oh, yeah, Boise State's going to get blown out. Look what happened. They got blown out. Mostly because of the run game, and they were down to a third-string quarterback. But Zach Wilson looked great in that game. He wasn't the star of the game, but he was allowing plays to be made and consistently allowed for plays to be made. And when he had his chances, he was the slice and dice in that Boise State Broncos team. Okay, so I like Zach Wilson. And if anything, Zach Wilson has the better chances of being the starting quarterback than Trevor Lawrence does. He's not as good as Trevor Lawrence, but also look at who's behind him. Mike White and James Morgan. All right, at least we got the GOAT Gardner Minshew behind Trevor Lawrence. Okay, so there's a better chance there. I like the Jets with Rob Saleh, the hire of the offseason. He's going to be the best head coach that was hired over this past year. I have a lot of faith in that guy. So I like where the Jets are trending, but where they are now, I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. And that's where I got to do a continued deep dive into the Jets and just see what's going to happen. I expect them to be right back in the top 5 picks this coming season just because you got a new coach, rookie quarterback. You kind of changed a lot of things around. And, going Sanchez, to his credit, he was pretty ridiculous in the playoffs those years while that Jets defense was unreal, especially with Revis out there, Revis Island running things. They were that's something you got to have. So hopefully the Jets can put together a very stout defense to help Zach early. Spend all your money on defense. We can see where that goes. Okay, next up on that championships. One. Yeah, exactly. San Fran, you got Trey Lance went out there now. He was 5 of 14, 128 with a touchdown. 5 of 14 can be a little troublesome if you really think about it, but he there was flashes of brilliance that people really got excited around. I went back and looked at some of the stuff, and I don't know about Trey. Not saying, like I said, this is an overreaction, of course, because it's only the first one. But I don't know. That game didn't tell me anything that I didn't already know. He looked like a quarterback that has only thrown 20 passes in 2 years.
That's a really great way of putting it. And
that's what he looked like.
Obviously, it was really exciting. He had that 80-yard touchdown pass on his first NFL drive, all right? So obviously that's going to really excite someone if you're a Trey Lance supporter or if you're just a 49ers fan in general.
Right.
But when the quarterback that you just cut in Josh Rosen has a better completion percentage than you do, you might have to take a look at that, and especially if you take away from the 80-yard touchdown pass. So just pretend like that wasn't the game. He's 4 for 13. He has 48 yards, and he has 0 touchdowns on 13 pass plays and a couple drives right there. He's really not able to do much. He's not able to do much. He has a horrible yards per attempt, and he has a decent yards per yards per complete pass.
Right.
But this is a guy almost like Zach Wilson, where I saw some good stuff from him. I see a lot of potential. I think Trey Lance has the highest ceiling in this entire draft class. He has a higher ceiling than Trevor Lawrence. He could be a Josh Allen type, but it's a wait and see. But also, it's really similar. If he's that Josh Allen type, obviously he's a guy that we got to give a season or two to really come into his own. With the jump, we'll see. I think Trey Lance, he definitely plays a lot of games this year. Jimmy Garoppolo is not the future quarterback. It's blatantly obvious. The writing has been on the walls for a year now.
Yeah.
But it might be a thing where hopefully it gets good enough to where they can put him in after the bye week. But I'm not sure. Kyle Shanahan does have a lot of talent on his hands, though. And if a guy can make a good quarterback, love Kyle Shanahan as an offensive guy.
Yeah. Having Shanahan as his coach to me is kind of the cheat code. It's kind of like Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. That helps a lot because of that offensive mind, him being truly a genius. I think that Shanahan can be a genius. He's able to get Matt Ryan a MVP, and that tells you a lot.
Don't disrespect my boy Matty Ice, okay?
Hey, Shanahan got him that MVP. I'm just gonna put it that way.
Hey, but Shanahan also almost had him a Super Bowl, but he blew it.
Valid point. You kind of got to give him blame for that too. You are right. So, but no, I think with Trey Lance, I do agree with you. I think he does have the highest ceiling. I don't know what his floor is, though. I am concerned he has the lowest floor.
Lowest floor.
I think he may have the lowest floor, or if my concerns are right as we see him moving forward, he may have the highest floor. So he may have a good chance of being the worst one at the same time as potentially being the greatest out of all of them. So, okay. I guess now this guy has become a legend on the field is Justin Fields as he out there with the Chicago Bears. Now, Justin, of course, did not look as he had a fumble that was that people were concerned about. It was kind of one of those Josh Allen type fumbles where he tries his hardest to do too much, spinning out of plays and just the ball flying.
Yeah,
and it's like,
it's
hey man,
really unnecessary.
You probably should tuck. It's one of those you probably should tuck. But besides the quote unquote carelessness he had a very solid game at 14 for 20, 142 and a touchdown. I watched a lot of his stuff.
Well, 2 touchdowns if you want to count that rushing one as well.
That's a good point. He did rush for 1 as well. I didn't and when he tried to run over that running back, and that cornerback, and I love the fact that he dropped his shoulder and tried to show how much force he truly has.
Hey, I forget who it was, but that one Arizona quarterback, the backup that put 2 hands on the rock and dropped that shoulder against one of those defenders, man, I thought that was a play of the preseason. I love a quarterback that drops the shoulder, okay? That's a man right there.
I'm all for the violence there. That's that rugbiness coming out of certain players if they're doing that at the quarterback position. So I'm with you on that. But I think Justin has if anybody should start week 1 besides of course 1 and 2 because there is no other quarterback to start over them. Justin Fields needs to be the starting quarterback in Chicago. He looks like he's poised, and as much as we joke and clown Matt Nagy, he got Mitchell Trubisky to a Pro Bowl. He went 12-4 with Trubisky.
The first ever MVP.
Yeah, he was the Nickelodeon MVP. Okay. He's Nickelodeon's valuable player. He is that as well.
Did not deserve that one. who was it? Man, didn't someone from Barstool Sports get a bunch of people to vote him during the live voting?
Yeah, they did that as a sham. It was
I think PFT, Pro Football Commentary. I think he did that. That was funny as hell.
Yep, it's hilarious. But with that, Nagy, this gives Justin Fields a similar advantage as the way I think Trey Lance has with Shanahan. I think this is going to help him become better, be better than what expected.
I don't know. I feel like obviously Justin Fields was the biggest winner in terms of all players this week 1 of preseason, hands down. He looked a lot better than I was expecting. It was just week 1. He had the comment where saying that the game was slower than he thought it would be, which is a little tricky because you're playing with a bunch of preseason guys and they're not scheming for you. So maybe pump the brakes on that one for a second. But it is
vanilla ice cream defenses and offenses. You're right.
Right. You're running some cover 2, cover 3 stuff, but what he showed was impressive. Obviously, he's going to be that dual threat guy that has tons that the defense has to respect his ability to run the football, and so that's going to aid him in the passing game, especially. With Montgomery, the Bears are going to have a good rushing attack, so that's really going to aid. The biggest friend, well, besides a great offensive line, but that goes without saying, but the biggest friend to any quarterback, especially rookie and young quarterbacks, is a really good run game because that takes so much pressure off of them. So David Montgomery is going to be huge for Justin Fields' success. But in terms of Matt Nagy, if anything, Matt Nagy is there. As long as Matt Nagy is in Chicago, he is lowering Justin Fields' ceiling. I think if anything, he's just holding him back. I'm not sure who the guy might be if Chicago wants to bring someone in, but Matt Nagy should have been fired about 3 years ago.
Okay. We're gonna take that then. All right. So last quarterback, last one to overreact on is gonna be our boy with the New England Patriots, Mr. Mac Jones. Macaroni as mac and cheese. I'm sorry, mac and cheese is what Cam Newton calls Mac Jones, which is always cracks me up. He looked solid, 13 for 19, 87 yards, averaged about 4.6 yards. Got sacked once. He looked. What everyone was excited about with him was that he looked comfortable. And I think that's
a great word.
That's the one thing I will give to him as well as Justin Fields is I felt like both of them looked comfortable. It looked like it wasn't moving too fast. Like the game was moving naturally. They were going naturally.
So it's that SEC play that probably helps a lot.
Yes, and it's very true playing against SEC defenses who can
work close. Coaches, you really got to think like how much Nick Saban translates to Bill Belichick. It's honestly perfect. Exactly. It's almost a direct because Belichick takes plays from Saban and Saban takes plays from Belichick. They've always done it. So I agree, especially the way they prepare and the way they do things. But I'm cautious when it comes to a player like Mac Jones going to an offense with Josh McDaniels and a head coach, defensive mind like Bill Belichick, because we have history with New England Patriot quarterbacks. We have the Jimmy Garoppolo's who went out there and has a very nice winning record when he was with the Patriots. We have the Jacoby Brissett's who did really good as starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. We also have Matt Castle, who's ridiculously good the season that Brady had a torn ACL and then got that big check from the Kansas City Chiefs, and he forgot to play football at that point. There's a lot of players that go through that can run that system, especially if they're meticulous when it comes to studying and you mean like
preparation.
Brady?
Tom Brady, I think, was a different breed of it, but I do believe that Brady helped with the mindset for those quarterbacks coming in to where they knew how to prepare 100%. And do things the right way. His influence was on them, but once he's gone, things are a little shaky. So I don't know what I can say about Mac now. I know everybody wants to say that he's going to start at the beginning of the season. I don't think he will, only because I don't know what the Patriots' offensive line looks like. And the one thing Cam Newton has that Mac Jones doesn't have is the ability to make something else happen when the play falls apart. Because Cam can still scoot. Ain't seen Mac scoot before.
No, you haven't. One thing I was proud about is after week 1 actually made after week 1, it was kind of a hot take saying that Cam Newton's going to have more rushing touchdowns than passing touchdowns. And he heavily exceeded that. So that was one of the takes I pat myself on the back for last year. So I missed a lot. I did hit some on the nail on the head on some of them, so that was cool. But my whole thing here is if Mac Jones is marginally better than Cam Newton, or if he's noticeably better than Cam Newton, which is at least in the week 1 of preseason, he was noticeably better than Cam Newton. I think the Patriots' season is higher with Mac Jones and quarterback. And personally, I don't really see a point to keeping Cam Newton as your starter, because as long as Cam Newton's your starter, your ceiling is lowered. Your floor might be raised, but that ceiling is lowered. And after the Patriots, they went all in the days 1, 2, even 3 of the NFL free agency period this year. They bought everyone off the market. Okay, they were looking like New York Yankees. They're just buying players in order to win championships, and that's what it looks like they're doing. So, if you're in the Patriots only right now, they need to get back into the playoffs, and the only way they can do that is with Mac Jones at the helm and throwing the football. And he has a good defense behind him too, in a half decent running game.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's a weird situation, though. I think out of all of the teams, this is probably the trickiest one.
Yeah, it is, and mainly because we don't know what the Patriots are going to look like this year. Now, you're right. The biggest thing with Belichick spending all that money, to me, made sense for them because this is the one year they didn't have a whole bunch of players that they was going to re-sign and burn their money on. So they needed to redo it. And at the same time, last season, half their best players all, opted out for the year. They wanted to play things more cautious. So I totally get that portion of it. Now that we've got a lot of people coming back, his defense is going to look like a Belichick defense in comparison to years past, just like years past. I think that Mac's advantage over Cam is that he will make less mistakes. I think Cam's advantage over Mac is that he'll make more plays. So the question is which one is better for what the Patriots want to do in the future. But
sure, that's the question. Answer the question then. Let's see what you think.
Hey, we hot taking it on.
I'm just asking the questions. I'm not getting paid to answer them.
I ain't ready. That's the thing about it. I'm not ready to answer it yet because I still got to study and decide. I'll have an answer for the preview show when I put together a preview show right before the season starts. So, question that I got to ask you then. Wrap this portion of it up. Tell me, out of those 5, whose career will go up first? Who's gonna have the better career up front, and who's gonna have the best long-term career?
Justin Fields is going to have the best rookie season out of these 5.
Okay,
and really like him as rookie of the year. And oh, let's go. Oh, it's preseason. It's time for a hot take. Let's not be bland here. I'm going to go out on a limb. It's a thin branch that I'm going out on. Trey Lance is going to have the best career out of the 5.
Oh, man, I'm mad at you for that because I was thinking the same thing. And I think the same on that is I think Trevor Lawrence is going to last in the league. Him lasting is not going to be based upon him. It's going to be based upon his coaching. If Urban Meyer is gone within a couple of years, I think Trevor Lawrence's career extends. If Urban Meyer's there for most of his career, I don't think his career extends. I think that it kind of falls apart at a certain point. I don't have faith in Urban in the NFL yet. I have to see. I would have faith in Urban Meyer if he got fired from this job, left, and then came back a la Pete Carroll. That way you get the understanding of, okay, I can't do things like I did in college. I got to change the philosophy. I got to adjust. That's what Pete Carroll did.
I don't think he's ever coming back, though. I don't think he's ever coming back.
I don't think anybody's going to give him a job either. I don't think anybody
he has one shot.
Yeah.
Maybe his heart only has one shot at this one, too.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of it that way.
You look at Chip Kelly, man. He got a shot. He blew it. And then where's he been? Have you heard from old Chip recently?
I'm not sure where he's at now because he was at UCLA, and I know he didn't keep that job.
I don't even know where Chip Kelly is right now. Maybe we can take a look and see where Chip Kelly is right here. Chip Kelly is...
He's still at UCLA.
Is he? Yeah. Okay. All right.
He's still there. He's still giving them chances. So, hey, if he can keep that going.
That tells you all you need to know about the UCLA football program.
I mean, that program's been awful for years, so I guess they need something, somebody to hopefully figure something out in the next 5 years. So, but no, I agree with you. Yeah, he's definitely gonna be Chip Kelly. Not the way they set it up. So, okay. Before we move on to the next one, thanks everybody tuning in here on Unfair Sports. Got my guest Ross with Fourth and Long Radio. Make sure you check him out. Follow him on the Berg. Go to the website. Ross gave it at the beginning, but we're going to go ahead and make sure we jump into it a little bit later. While you're there, like, subscribe, rate, and review, and hook it up as you always do. So, next topic. Let's dive into the level of excitement I have is taunting. It seems like the NFL has decided to change their name back to the No Fun League. That was the running back for the Detroit Lions. If you haven't seen the video, please Google it, search it on Twitter, search it wherever you like. You get you taking your content, because he basically carried like 9 players across the line, and after he carried them, he stood up, did a little bit of a celebration, and he immediately got a 15-yard penalty. Why is the NFL going back to? Why are they going back?
That's a fantastic question.
Why are they going back to the No Fun?
Why NFL? 2017 was it 2017 when they relaxed the rules and ended up bringing dancing and stuff in the end zone back again? I think it was 2017. Then what made them change their minds? We were literally getting rankings of who had the best touchdown celebration of the week. Okay, and now we're going to go away from that? It just doesn't make sense to me. It boggles my mind about why this is, and this is why Peyton Manning needs to hurry up and kick Roger Goodell's ass out of the commissioner's seat and take over.
Yeah, you're right, and it's funny because John Mara, the one of the owners for the Detroit Lions, decided
the Giants owner, John Mara.
Yeah, John Mara.
I hate this guy. Scumbag of the week.
There you go. He says this, and I quote, "We get sick and tired of the taunting that goes on from time to time on the field. Nobody wants to see a player taunting another player." I don't know what football you watch or what football fans you talk to. Are we speaking French now? Who is we?
Who is we?
Because I enjoy a good taunt whenever it's placed properly. And in that situation, when you're dragging that many people, yes. I'm sorry, it was the Colts running back, not the Lions running back. It was Colts running back.
Oh, yeah.
If
you get dragged like that, okay, as a defense, if you get dragged like that, you deserve to be made fun of, okay?
Yes!
You deserve that.
He literally
you want to know how we avoid getting taunted on? You want to know how that defense avoids getting taunted on? Tackle him.
Tackle him. Stop him. Stop him.
It's simple.
Stop him. You stop him.
Also, John Mara.
Nobody cares.
Who the hell is we? Okay, is it you? Is it your old ass up in your fancy press box overlooking the field running your god-awful franchise, okay? Focus on yourself and your crap team before you focus on trying to ruin football, you sack of bad person.
Yeah,
I mean,
it irks me.
The owners and the fans.
Yeah. Yeah, Benny.
Was
Benny
it not
LeMay.
sponsor friendly to taunt?
Well, what's funny is that I guess that's the thought. I mean, this is definitely not a Hingle McCringleberry situation where, they're allowing 2 pumps but not 3. We're not even getting that much.
We don't even get 1 pump.
He literally, all he did was stand up and, just shows. Bill Belichick said it best in one of his speeches from years ago, and he says this all the time to his players. If you do a big play like that, I want you to celebrate because you deserve it. You busted your ass to get to where you are. You worked hard to get to that play. You made the play. That's what's important. As long as you're not costing the team something by going to go punch another player, what does it matter? Let them get a little bit of because I swear, if Zeke runs to get the first down, does his eating, and first down, and they flag him, I'm done. Retired.
I got you. I got yellow towel right here. We'll use this.
No, don't you do it. No.
It's thrown. No, it's thrown. That's 15. That's 15.
Do that. We can't do that. It just takes away from the fun of the game. Like, why are we policing silly taunts? I get if you're hitting someone, if you're in someone's face. He turned. He taunted to the start, and he turned and walked off and was excited about a first down. And the man might
lasted like a second, 2 seconds at most.
Right. He might not even make the roster. And you just took away something great for him because y'all won't be silly. So I'm guessing the NFL, I don't know why the crackdown is there. It's not like we got Terrell Owens running to the star and doing things like
even that
was pulling
fantastic.
out Sharpies and doing signatures.
Even that.
Even
that, man, I can't believe I forgot who it was, but the Saints player that pulled out the phone.
Oh, Joe Horn. Joe Horn with the phone.
Thank you.
That year, everybody was trying to top each other. That was a fun season. That
was legendary.
And then when
who puts a flip phone underneath? Hey, first off, he put the underneath there. He put that underneath it knowing, I'm going to score a touchdown this game. It's going to be right here for me to use.
At that end zone. Not the other one.
At that end zone. No.
He knew he was going to score.
That end zone.
That's the beauty of it, is that the confidence to do that, it's deserved. They should be able to. I mean, the T.O. Sharpie deal is still my favorite celebration of a touchdown. The dude got the touchdown, pulled a Sharpie out, signed it, and handed it to his agent. Just still my favorite one.
So good. It's beautiful. So good, man.
So I'm just hoping that they don't taunt. Like they don't flag, like I said, Zeke Elliott whenever he does his feed me deal, or if he jumps into the Salvation Army bucket during that big old deal whenever it's Thanksgiving and they're doing charity. That brings awareness. Please just let the players have fun.
That's charity. It's literally charity work.
Right. It brings attention to it. Salvation Army is seeing it. Boom. Everybody's seeing it because Zeke's in there doing this. We love it. Well, let's just keep that going.
See, my biggest concern with this is that not only is this rule going to just get in the way of fun, and it's going to kind of bring the excitement down, and we're going to see a bunch of BS penalties everywhere, but I am guaranteeing that this season, if this rule exists into the regular season, a team is going to lose a game because of this rule. Guaranteeing it.
That's the one thing that concerns me too. That concerns me.
You're going to see a guy get either he's going to ice the game with a big first down, he's going to do a celebration, get flagged for that, then guy redo it, might turn to a turnover, or something like they score, but he did this tiny thing when running to the end zone, they call it back. It's going to happen.
I hope that they're just getting it out of their system in the preseason, just getting it out now. That way we can transition ourselves into a more fun season where players are still doing the antics in the end zone, involving their linemen, doing cha-cha slide dances, and we can say that this is entertaining and the fans can really get involved. So
yes, it's all about the fans at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, let's the fans have fun with them. Well, besides the fans that was fighting at the Chargers-Rams game, but besides that.
You mean the one that was started by that woman that wasn't even caught in the fight? She just threw the soda.
Hey, man.
You see
Mouse
that?
in the pal situation, man. He's throwing stuff for no reason. Still hilarious that it happened, and the dude got the old guy that pushed him over is still probably the funniest thing about it, is that he was just like, hey, man, y'all are home in my space. Forget this. Push the dude, jumps back a couple rows so he's not involved no more.
Hey, I respect that, man.
Hey, I don't want you sweating all over me while you arguing with 4 of the dudes. Can you move? Just go away. So.
Hey, I paid for these tickets, okay? You're not going to get in the way of my foosball.
Ruining his entertainment. So okay,
come on, that's SoFi Stadium. That in LA, that ticket's, even though it's preseason, that's worth a half a fortune. Okay.
Oh yeah, at SoFi, the new stadium. Oh man, that's that's Dan Kroenke's baby.
But before we get I don't mean to delay things with the next segment, but did we see the food they were serving at SoFi?
I did not look.
$15 hot dogs. Oh, they had this pizza, man. It's like a $15 marinara pizza. It was like this thick thing of dough, this tiny square with some basil and marinara sauce on top of it. They call that food. I saw a thing of fries with just a slice of cheese on it.
Golly,
what the hell are we serving? Okay.
Stan Kroenke, come on, man. I mean, I understand. I mean, you pay for that out of your pocket. We get that you've got billions. I mean, you're worth what, like probably $80 billion at this point with everything with stocks in Walmart. You really didn't have to skimp on the food, especially you can charge. Well, the problem is they can charge $15 for that.
Hey, that's why
type of
the
food.
Atlanta Falcons are the best franchise in the league, purely for their prices at the stadium.
Yeah, actually, Mercedes-Benz is really nice. I actually enjoy it.
But also the reasonably priced food. They have the cheapest food in the league.
They do.
They do have Chick-fil-A on the occasional Thursday night game if they ever play it.
If they ever play it. So one time out the season, that cracks me up. I did actually get me some free Chick-fil-A when I went. I went to the I watched OU get destroyed by LSU in the Peach Bowl.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I went and grabbed some Chick-fil-A while I was there, and I was like, yep, Saturday, get my Chick-fil-A. Dope.
Oh,
but they was giving out free stuff too.
For college.
It really is. It's only built for college on average. You're not going to do it for anything else. For NFL since they're closed on Sundays. All right. Thanks for checking us out. Like I said, like, subscribe, rate, review. Check out my boy Ross over at 4th and Long. Give him the site.
Hey, it's all about the 4thandlong.com.
There you go. Check them out. Like I said, the graphics are dope on Twitter. They're great questions, great polls. Good way to get your mind going.
I make you use your brains. I know. I apologize sometimes, but you're going to
don't ever apologize for getting sports fans to think, because the ones that can't think won't figure it out anyway. But with that, we got to talk about your boy. So I know you're a Broncos fan.
Yes,
and,
sir.
The legend that left there, my man, everybody's man, Tim Tebow. After his abysmal week 1 as a blocker, got cut. Now, this is the odd thing about this whole situation as he holds his Tebow jersey.
My boy Tim Tebow. Okay, Tebow mania. Go.
People are spinning this as Urban Meyer showing everyone that he means business by cutting his boy so early. Why? Like, why would anyone think that was the point of them cutting Tim Tebow, just to make a point and put fear in everybody's heart when we all saw the footage of him blocking? I don't understand that angle that people are taking.
I think it's fully wrong, to be honest. Because in this whole situation, the way I like to look at things, take away the name Tim Tebow. Just put on the name, John Smith onto that tight end, okay? If it wasn't Tim Tebow, I mean, even with Tim Tebow, actually, I think John Smith would have gone less hate than Tim Tebow gone just for him not being Tim Tebow. Because first off, I think that was the issue too. There are so many people hating on this man, Tim Tebow, just because he was trying and he was given a chance that he worked. He's a hard worker.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like Tim Tebow didn't necessarily deserve the shot. I think it was worth a shot. It didn't hurt them. If anything, it helped them because they sold he had the highest selling jersey this summer. Okay, so they made a crap ton of money off of him. Tim Tebow made some money off of royalties. Okay, so he did well there, and I applaud the man. He tried baseball. That didn't work out. He tried coming back as tight end to the NFL. Obviously, that didn't work out, but this man tries, and I love that. Now it's time for him to go to the Golden State Warriors and try to shoot some threes with Steph Curry. Okay,
or he can go sign with the Brooklyn Nets. They can use an additional body since they don't really have cap space with everybody signing their extensions.
I mean, they got that. I mean, the Lakers are signing every damn free agent out there. Okay, so maybe it goes to LA. Who knows? But
that's good for his brand.
No,
if you really think about it.
It's. Hey, LA, man, he gets tapped into the LA market. I love that. But with Tim Tebow, this just wasn't going to work out. And there wasn't anything wrong with this cut. This was just, if like I was going back, if this isn't Tim Tebow, this guy's getting cut 10 weeks out, or getting 10 times out of 10, okay?
Yeah.
You can't go on a put out performance like that. I was disappointed because it wasn't a great route, but he was open, looked like Trevor Lawrence tried to give him the ball, but then the wide receiver jumped in front of him and took that pass. So I was a little disappointed there. I wanted to see Tim Tebow catch a ball, maybe just for old time's sake, but no, this was just a cut that needed to be made because you have to cut down a lot of the people within the next couple weeks, and he was a clear one. So
we're at 90 now. I think they have to be at like 80 by, I think it's today technically, and then
80,
midweek,
and then they're going down to
and then 56,
60, and then 53.
Yeah, 53. There, yeah. You got to get all the way down.
So this is just a fine cut. It was just a cutting guy that wasn't going to make the team. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
And I totally agree with that. I guess my what this reminds people, what this should remind a lot of the fans out there is that playing football and playing multiple positions is really hard, especially if you've never done it before.
It's really hard.
It's really hard. It's really hard. And he showed it, like I said, with his blocking ability, which is a very key component. Most of your great tight ends, they're great catchers and they're great blockers. Gronk's known for
like George Kittle, who is George Kittle, and that's the reason why he's the best tight end in the game. George Kittle is better than Travis Kelce. Talking about when Travis Kelce can drive a man on and pancake him in the end zone. Okay.
Hey, I'm just saying that's the thing. Is we are recognizing just how difficult it is to play. So I guess the respect to the tight ends and fullbacks need to be increased because those defensive ends and those linebackers are really good when it comes to getting away, especially third string.
Yes.
Because they're trying to make the team too. And so they're going to do whatever they can to embarrass you. I guess the only problem I had with the Tebow piece is, of course, not only it being polarized and everybody talking about it. Like you, I kind of wish everybody would have thought just treated him like his name was John Smith, knowing he's going to get cut within about a week or two. It's the coming back 9 years later and trying this. It was why we should have known that this wasn't going to work out. And honestly, Urban Meyer should have known. Now, if he brought him into the locker room to be the locker room guy and help build the culture around the Urban Meyer aura and legend or whatever, fine. Bring him in as an assistant coach. You don't need to bring him on the field. Bring him in as an assistant. He can really resonate with them and teach
I really like that idea, actually.
I mean, that's what you do. That's what you do. You don't really throw him out there on the field when you can technically get another player that you can evaluate and have down the line if you have injuries. I think with the younger player that you can truly mold, you will rather see that because if you do deal with injuries, you need to bring somebody in. It's great to have someone that you can bring in that you're molding that's younger that you could probably keep for a few years. Hell, use him as a trade piece later. You never know. You might be able to trade him after. If you deal with injuries, you can trade the dude. And just because, NFL is a game of attrition, just like every other sport. Whoever survives and who's the healthiest at the end typically is able to win things. But,
just straight for jersey sales alone.
Oh, yeah. Well, if there's anything I've been mad about Tebow about for all of this, I'm trying to figure out why he never went to Jacksonville and became the starting quarterback when they offered him the job. They literally offered him the job after Denver, and he said, nah, I'm good. I'm going to New York. And the unspoken portion of that is that it's better for his brand. If he went up to Jacksonville, he'd been the starting quarterback for Jacksonville for probably 10 years, period. They said it before he even signed anywhere. Starting job is Tim Tebow's if he wants it. Because like you said, he would have sold tickets. He would have sold jerseys. Everyone there because he's up the street, round the corner.
Do we not remember just how huge Tebow mania was? That was one of the biggest things in the world. Everyone, forget planking. Everyone's Tebowing.
Right. Everyone. And that's what I'm saying. He was right there next to Gainesville. So Florida, he had that. He had it. He just didn't take it. And if anything irked me, that irked me. He missed out on the perfect opportunity to just be a name in the NFL for the rest of his life all the time because Jacksonville would have found every single way, shape, or form to keep him as the starting quarterback of that team. So, with that,
I do like your idea about bringing him as a coach, though, man. Like like a personnel coordinator, like just one of those personnel coaches.
Hey,
it's a fine job.
Entry level, get you going. But at the same time, he'll make more money at the SEC Network when he does his commentary. So for him, he's got many things going. It's one of those. Do I really want to spend time coaching? I can make money doing other stuff and I can work a quarter of the time. I can work a quarter of the time and make way more than I would as an assistant coach for underneath Urban Meyer's team, or even as a freaking advisor. I'd make more money
even as a player.
Stuff. Or even as a player. That's the one thing I don't get why he went to play. You make more money with television.
Well, maybe that's a cool thing because that just shows how much he just wants to play football. He could have been making so much money elsewhere, but no, he tried to do this. So I respect him even more because of that.
I give you that. So, all right, well, Ross, my guy Ross from the Fourth and Long. Check out their site. Check him out on the Bird. I appreciate you joining me, my man.
Hey, of course. Hey, this was such a pleasure. And like I said at the beginning, it was really just about damn time that we got together. It was like, Macho Man and Hulk Hogan coming together, okay? Brother! Oh, right. Man. But, the cream really rises to the top, sir.
It does. And we'll connect again. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Unfair Sports. We do this twice a week. Make sure you check us out wherever you get your podcasts and consume your content. While you're there, like, subscribe, rate, and review. And give us 5 stars. We think we deserve it. And just go ahead and give us 5 anyway and gift it. We'll chop it up with you in a few days. Peace.